Hey folks, it's Bobcat here, farm manager at Main Street Farms. We're at our South Ave location in downtown Cortland in one of our high tunnels. What high tunnel means in farmer talk and regular people talk, it's basically like a greenhouse. It looks just like a greenhouse. But the thing that makes high tunnels different from a greenhouse is greenhouse usually implies that we use some sort of heat like a furnace or propane or natural gas heater. And a high tunnel is passive solar. That means the only way this structure gets heated up is from the sun. And I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the weather outside lately, but it's been pretty cold, pretty frigidly cold. So this, the blue line is our highs for the month of December. The red is the high, the blue is the low. Those straight lines are the averages. So you can see these big dips below the average lows. And this last week, it's just been getting lower and lower and lower and lower. So it's been pretty frigidly cold outside, a little abnormal. I mean, we've only been farming for 7 years, so not that I can't say we've seen it all, but this is definitely the coldest, stretch of December, January that we've seen. And it's unfortunately taken a little toll on our plants. But don't worry, it's not all completely lost. But we just want to give people a heads up that we're going to be a little bit low on greens for the next week or two. That's both in the CSA and at the farmer's market. If you look around here, the spinach is not looking too happy. The lettuce, we put it under this little blanket row cover. We call it remay. It's just a little, farmer trick to try to give the plants a little extra insulation. But it's just not having it. This structure is, made of mostly metal and plastic. We do use a double layer of plastic that gets inflated with air, and that's supposed to give it a little insulation to keep the warm air in and the cold air out. But I drove to work this morning and it was -6 degrees here in Cortland, -6. So that's pretty frigidly cold. And there's just a lot of factors. We've been getting a lot of snow. You can see the snow kind of sticks to the greenhouse when it gets cold. It kind of freezes to the plastic, and it doesn't really get warm enough to shed off that snow. That keeps some light out without the extra light coming in. It makes it even more cold. If you look along the sides here, there's snow a couple inches up on the sides of our greenhouse now, so it's kind of like a little ice box. It's just like insulating all this cold air. And the plants aren't very happy. The analogy I like to use is, imagine if your heat stopped working for about 2 weeks and you had no heat in your house and you had to go through life at 32 degrees. It would be pretty frigid to have to live like that, and you'd probably move slowly. You probably wouldn't want to eat. You probably would be really tired, and it would just get really old really fast. So just imagine the plants not having heat for 2 weeks. It's kind of like that. So the good news is plants are resilient. They will rebound. In a normal year, it gets cold for a couple of nights and then it gets warm, and it allows the plants to keep growing. But the cold weather mixed with the fact that we hit our shortest daylight hours of the year not too long ago, a week or two ago, for the winter solstice, there just hasn't been a lot of light. The plants are kind of dormant. But the good news is, at this point on, the daylight's getting longer and longer. Things will be on the up and up. Things are getting a little warmer each day, hopefully. And I know, don't get me wrong, we still have a good 3 months of winter left. But we're hoping that maybe because we had a really cold December, that maybe we'll get lucky and have an early spring. And either way, we plan for that. At the end of this month here in January, we'll already start new seedings for all this spinach and lettuce. And by the end of February, beginning of March, we till all this up and we replant it. And by April and May, this place will be booming and lush with lots of fresh greens. So just be patient. We're doing the best we can, and we'd just like to share that information with you guys. All right, that's all for now. It's Bobcat signing off. Have a great day.